Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. This is a special one. This one is featuring paper pumpkin kits, and we have the latest one that just arrived in my mailbox on Sunday. Of all things, it's crazy that they deliver mail on Sundays now. I don't know if you experienced that in the US, but it's like all the time now. So I got my kit or kits on Sunday and dove into them and then started creating on Monday with them. So these ideas are fresh in my head. Hopefully I remember all the measurements. So this is a special live. It is Wednesday, May 22nd at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live. So if you're watching after that hour, then you're probably watching the replay. But I welcome you to comment either way. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you're logged into your YouTube or Google account so that you can comment in the live. If you're watching on Facebook, join in. It's fun. We have moderators on both platforms. So we have Trisha Josephs on YouTube and we have Lisa Marshall on Facebook. And I love them so much. They're so good to me. So thank you so much, gals, for answering questions along the way and helping our viewers. And we have people from all over. Before the live started, the YouTube comments can roll in early. And I was catching names from Oregon, Arizona, California, Illinois, Texas, Kentucky. It's fun. It's so fun to know that technology can reach so many places at the same time, right? All right, so let's see what I want to talk about. So I'm going to share step-by-step directions for making alternate projects. If you're not familiar with these kits, they are really darn cool. I have been obsessed with them since they first began in March of 2013. In fact, that's what kind of launched my blog. When I saw these kits revealed at a conference back in that time, it was like February of that year. And my jaw was dropped the whole time that they were talking about these paper pumpkin kits. And I said, that does it. I'm ready to do videos. I'm ready to start a blog. And I seriously, I've made creations with these kits ever since they first began. If you have not checked out my blog, please visit stampyourartout.com and click on the paper pumpkin tab so that you can see past posts and recent posts. You can even look up a past kit. Maybe you have a paper pumpkin kit that you got at a garage sale a while back. Just look up the name of it and you'll be able to see things that I created with it. So on that note of obsession, obviously I created on Monday, right after I got the kit. I have tons of ideas, but I've only picked 4 of them to share with you today. So this is my first set of alternates. So this is the kit pamphlet. This is what comes in this month's kit. And by the way, if you are not a subscriber and you didn't get this kit, hopefully these ideas will spark your creativity, but also, you can subscribe. There's a link in the description of the video so that you can subscribe, but you have missed out on the full kit. On the off chance that you can get a full kit, that's great, but you can always substitute stamps. So right now the refill kit is available, but the stamp set and the ink does not come in the refill kit. And the refills and past paper pumpkin stuff is only available to subscribers, active subscribers. So you have to have an active paper pumpkin account in order to subscribe. So I've put up there, shop products, see more ideas. Basically, you go to stampyourartout.com, click on the shop tab, and you'll be able to find the paper pumpkin section. But remember that you want to be a subscriber. Now, if you're not a subscriber, again, you can click on the link below and subscribe. So for those of you that did get the full kit or you're going to get the refill kit, you can copy these ideas. So I'm taking these cards. Now the kit comes with instructions for how to make these 9 cards, 3 of 3 different kinds. And I am going to show you how to take those pieces, which is what I've done in every kit, take those pieces, turn them around, twist them, turn them upside down, whatever, cut them up and make other projects. That way, if you get a kit and you're like, I'm not in love with that idea, you can go to my blog, or you can even visit like the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club or Google or Pinterest. You can look up the name of the kit and you can see other ideas with it. And wow, it may turn a kit that you absolutely hated into one that you love. Because these are surprises. You don't know what's coming in the kit. So I'm going to take the pieces for, where did I put them? Right here. I'm going to take the pieces for this kit. And I'm just taking a few of them. You guys noticed I'm wearing my topper again today. I am so in love with this thing. This is my favorite of the 2 toppers I own right now. It is Uniwig's Upgrade Courtney. So if you're interested, yeah. Anyways, it's so cool. I love the color. I feel younger in it. I feel like I have hair on my head again. And you guys know that I'm going through the process of hair loss. Once again, a year and a half ago, I was aware that I have androgenic alopecia, which is basically balding. Women balding type of situation, right? It's going to continue as I age. I did take some medical treatment in that year and a half time, but then I had all these side effects. So I'm back to chemical, medical, pill-free, and I am just embracing it, and I'm loving the options I have with alternative hair. Okay, so anyways, here is a kit piece. This is a leftover from a kit piece. It is white on the other side. So we're going to use that. We're also going to use this card base, and we're going to fold it. I'm going to use my bone folder here and give that a good crease just to make it lie flat. Now you could use either side. Obviously, the card base looks the same either way. Well, there are slight differences. So you decide which side you like better. And then we're going to use this circle piece, which is already pre-stamped for you. But if you notice the stamps that come in the kit, here's the little insert, here's the stamps. So it does come with a stamp that actually is the same exact image. So you can make more of these, which I'll show you in a minute. But we are going to use one of the stamps from there. We're going to use the stamp that it's the taller sentiment stamp. It looks like this. We'll just mount that on our block. And instead of this ink pad for speed, I am going to use the larger Misty Moonlight ink pad. Also, because you do get a clear block with your first kit when you first subscribe. After that, you'll want to invest in some blocks, and we have ergonomic ones through Stampin' Up. So I'll be using those. You also get adhesives in your kit. You don't get paper snips. That's probably the only tool you need if you're going to follow the directions as is. But you get adhesives. I will supplement those adhesives. I'm going to be using the precision tip bottle that has multi-purpose liquid glue in it. I've got it in my little handy Tombow holder here. I'll also be using seal adhesive, which is quick and easy. I'll be using Terran tape. I'll be using mini dimensionals because the ones that come in the kit are a little bit larger. It's good to have a repertoire of adhesives. I mentioned them in the supply list for most of my blog posts. So like if you scroll down, if you're watching on YouTube, you can scroll down, you can see the adhesives that I recommend using. But again, just stock up on them, and a new crafter can look at my supply list and hopefully see everything that you pretty much need. The only thing I don't usually mention are the blocks. I don't know why, but you'll want to have blocks. Okay, Misty Moonlight, we're going to open that up. We're going to take our tape. So I've got just some basic tape. This is the Scotch tape, right? And I'm going to tape up some stuff here. We're going to cover over the top of the 5 top lines of this stamp and the bottom line of that stamp. And that way we're doing what's called masking. We're going to ink up that stamp. And now what I've got here is, oops, well, that's okay. I went a little far because I didn't do it on the edge. I didn't cover up that. It's fine because we're not going to worry about that. But you see this here? Just above and below the word amazing, if I were to stamp that in a small area, it would not, oops, it would not, I have to put this away or it's going to get all over my hands. It would not stamp on this or this because we've masked it. So I'm going to take this scrap here and I'm going to stamp on it. I'm going to stamp right about there. And now we have the word amazing. Now we also have a very tiny piece. So this was not a good demonstration. Let me try that again, Rachel. All right, hang on. It's live video. Sometimes we forget to do things like stamp on the edge of our block. I'm going to clean off this stamp and we'll start again. Okay, watch. So no ink, right? No ink? No ink. Okay, so let's cover it up again. We're going to cover up the bottom. We're going to cover up the top. And this time, Rachel, she's just going to ink up the bottom portion of the stamp. That's what I meant to do. So if you are inking this stamp or stamping this stamp down onto a larger piece by masking and being really careful about where you stamp, you can get just that image. That's all I have now. Okay, let's put that in the garbage. Okay, here we go. So we've got our strip, and we're going to take our paper snips, and we're just going to snip the end here so that we can grab that piece off. Now you can take other scraps. So your back sides of your cards have that same white look, right? So if you have scraps as you're creating with your kit, you can use them. These are some fun pieces that come in the kit, and they're connected, but you can cut them in half and you can do other things. Let's just take and cut this. We're gonna cut it right down the middle, like that. And because I want it to really show up against the blue, I'm gonna use the white side instead. So we have all our pieces here ready to go. We're going to take our circle and we're gonna lay that where we want it to be. And then we're gonna kind of position our leaves. I'm just looking off to the right here because I have a finished card. We're gonna position our leaves where we think that they'll look best. And then what we can do is either tape down, or we can put a little adhesive there and just stick it down like that. Okay, and then we look again. We add that one here. And this time I'm going to put on the back side, which is actually the front side of this piece. And we're just going to go like this. So if you look at the cards that are in the kits, this is what I always think to myself. They add a lot of layers that you don't necessarily need. You can make a clean and easy and beautiful card by just using like less pieces, right? So you can make your kit expand. You can go beyond. You can multiply the number of your cards in your kit just by cutting down card bases and that sort of thing. Like if you wanted to, you could cut this in half and add half to a card front, add this to another card front and make 2 cards. Because this side is kind of wasted when we cover it up. We're not going to worry about that today though. We're going to take our dimensionals from, because I'm not doing that today. I'm not multiplying the cards in the kit. Sorry. I know some of you love that, but that's not my goal today. Today is just to make a variety of projects. In fact, there was one that was requested, I should say. Oops, before we put that down, hang on. I want to add this. So flip that over. Now we're going to bring in our mini dimensionals. There was one that was requested, and that's going to be at the end. So I'm gonna show you that later. I'm going to cut this in half because we want these even tinier. These are the mini dimensionals. They're super small. I'm going to stick one, if I can pick this up. I'm going to stick one here and one here. There, we're still behind the words. And then we're going to peel off the back side, the release paper, put that down, lift this up. Looking at the lines of the tree, we're going to go perpendicular to that. And we're just going to add our word amazing here. I'm looking off to my side again because I want to make sure I make it look pretty similar to the one I've finished. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to push this. See how there's a little lift there? I'm going to push this up against the edge and trim. And now it's lined up with the edge of our circle. I can lay this down. I can add my embellishments. So let's do that. I'm bringing in, I have to show you this too. You guys, the Country Hive has some really great storage products. And this is one that I'm probably going to switch my my embellishments to because they're kind of, I'm getting a lot of them. So I'm going to use these embellishments. These are the iridescent foil gems. This box is called the regular slanted box. Okay, and if you're looking for my favorite extras, things that I share in my video that aren't Stampin' Up, you can always go to shop on my website. There's a shop tab, and then go down to my favorite extras, and you can see links to a lot of different products that I love. Okay, so then we're just going to take, and you know what, I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool because it's quicker. So we'll go ahead and push on top, slide and lift. And this little tacky end here lifts up the embellishment. So it's now attached. And I'm going to tilt this because I am looking at it sideways, you guys. I think that's why I have to keep looking over there. I'm like, what is going on with my vision? Okay, and that's going to go here. And this one is going to go here. And that's, well, there's one more part. You're going to stamp the sentiment. That's a quick and easy card, isn't it? You're going to stamp this sentiment. And we'll just mount that onto a block. Oops. Get it more in the center here. You're the best there is. You're going to stamp that and put that on the inside. So here is the inside of the card. Here's the outside. Quick and easy, right? Okay, now let's grab the next one. The next card is based on this card design that I shared with you last week. Do you remember when I did my live? And I want to say I didn't share it. Did I share it last week or did I share it on Saturday? I think I shared it on Saturday. Did you guys catch that live? I don't always go live on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but sometimes I do. And this card I shared there. This is not mine. It's by Virginie Julien from France. She's a demonstrator in France, and I got this swap card from her. So I was just in love with it when I was talking about the new In Color line, and I had to share it. So I made, on that video, this piece here. I demonstrated how to do that. Now she's going to be sharing the rest of that card supposedly today on her Facebook page and YouTube channel. So I have put a link in my blog post to connecting with her if you want to see how she does that whole card. Oh, I'm going to leave that there for just a minute. Okay, so so this piece, and I'm going to grab these out of here. So this card is the same layout. Do you see that? It's the same layout. I used the stamps because remember they line up. I used a different set of leaves from the kit. So you have the Misty Moonlight ones. You have the ones that I shared in the, oh, I forget what color it is. You know what? The back side has a listing of the colors. I want to say it's Wild Wheat. Yeah, Wild Wheat. And then there's another one in Pool Party. So this is the Misty Moonlight one. The one we used on the other card is Wild Wheat flipped over. So you got the white side. The embellishments here come from this pack, because I wanted them to be more like water droplets. And that pack is the Opal Rounds assortment. Really pretty. And look at the colors in there, you guys. We have this yellow, this navy, and this clear, and they've got a little iridescent glow to them. So they're going to be stunning with this kit because you've got the Wild Wheat color and the browns and stuff, and this really just is a beautiful yellow embellishment for it. The clear obviously would work with anything, and then the navy goes with the blues in the kit. So this is a great one to get with it. This one here, I'm also promoting because it's got clear with gold flecks in it. And that's one of those that, you know, you can do with lots of different colors and cards and projects. So yeah, so that's the difference here. Do you see this strip here? I didn't cut it from here. Instead, I had another piece that I had experimented on, and I cut a strip from that. So here's where that strip came from. And then what I did is after I figured out where my circle was going to go, I took this strip and I kind of shimmied it where it would work because it was slightly smaller. And I stamped where I wanted it to be, trimmed it, added it like how I'd shown you. And that's how that card came together. This is a basic white card base. This is up on the mini dimensionals, just like the other card. This is up on regular dimensionals from the kit, or you can get regular dimensionals in the online store. This color here is a little bit lighter than, let me show you this again, than that, right? This is a darker blue, this is a lighter blue, and you get that by stamping off. So all I did, and we'll just take this stamp here, and we'll mount it onto a clear block. I always mount my stamps so that they're not straight on the block. I don't want to be looking or relying on the edges of my clear blocks when I stamp, because that will distract me. What I want to do is look at the actual image. So when you stamp this, you're going to ink it up. You're going to stamp it onto your scrap paper, and then you're going to stamp it again. And what you get is a lighter look. Obviously, I do not have a very even surface, or I must have had a dimensional backing under there, but you can see what you get, right? So that's how I got the lighter look of the blue. And on the inside, I masked. I covered up the bottom portion of this stamp before inking it. I pulled the tape away and then I stamped it down, and that's how I got You're the Best. And look what happened because Rachel forgot to put her ink pad closed. I'm going to close it up right now. Luckily, it's not that bad, right? I could probably trim it. Okay, anyway, so there's that card idea. You'll see a photograph of that on my blog post, and then you can always go back one blog post to get to this card and a link to Julienne, her Facebook and her YouTube channel. I think I also put the links though in the current blog post. And the current blog post, by the way, if you are watching on YouTube, you have all the instructions, the links and all of that right now. I'll transfer it over to Facebook, but that blog post will not go live until 1 p.m. That will give me some time to change anything in case I can't share all these projects in time. Ha! Hopefully I will though. Okay, so we're gonna go for it. I'm gonna move this over here. Okay, so next, the next card. The next card is very lovely. I'm in love with it. I'm gonna take my trimmer and I'm gonna grab some basic white cardstock. And this time we're gonna cut a 5.5 inch by, we're gonna cut a card that looks kind of like it would fold this way, only we need a little extra on the end. So we can't cut it in half this way. We're gonna have to go this way with the trimmer so that we have a little bit of extra on the end. So your measurements for this card are 5.5 in this direction. So you see how I'm bringing it into my trimmer at 5.5 inches. It's right up to the edge here, so it's nice and straight and square. I'm gonna trim, and then I'm gonna turn it, and I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit here so you can see better. I'm gonna turn it, bring the arm of my trimmer out a bit. I have my adhesive caddy with me again, you guys. This little thing here from the Country Hive, because it is keeping me organized. I found out. So I need to keep using it. Love that thing. Okay, so here's my 5.5 this way. I'm gonna cut it, instead of 8.5, we wanna have an extra inch. So we're gonna go to 9.5 inches. Keep this because you never know, right? This is good scrap stuff. So now we're gonna score, and we're gonna score at 4.25. And if you look at that, there's our extra inch there. So we want to fold that up. We're gonna go ahead and score that. And you can either use the inch line on this side of the trimmer or this side. Because I am right-handed and I'll be using this hand to cut with my blade, I'm gonna use the measurements on this side and bringing it up to that 1 inch line, and I'm gonna score. I love that the extra inches go over to this side. It's really helpful. Thanks for sharing the link, Trisha. All right, so this is the third alternative. I mean, the second card I shared basically can be adapted to lots of different colors. You just want to use like blending brushes. You can use either size. You can use the regular, or you can use the mini. Let me go back to this for a minute. Here's the watercolor paper. This is great for doing this technique. And let's just demonstrate with the Shy Shamrock really quick. So I'm going to take the Shy Shamrock. This is a mini version because I thought it'd be fun to show these two colors combined anyways. So I'm just doing a bit of blending of the color onto my surface. I'll go back to this next card in just a minute here. Okay, that's Shy Shamrock. Let's close that up. Set that over here. And let's take our Misty Moonlight. And we're going to grab our Misty Moonlight blending brush. You do not have to put labels on the back like I did. That's a little weird. I don't know. You can use like one for all your blues, one for all your green. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do what I did, but I like it. Okay, we're going to add the Misty Moonlight color now to the watercolor paper. And we're going to cross them over a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put these away. I knew there was a reason I had them out. And I'm going to take my cleanup pad and my water bottle. I have a little spritzer with water in it. Let's just make it sure. Yeah, it's spritzing. Okay, and I'm going to spritz it. Oops, got to hold it up because I don't have very much water left in here. Come on. It's live. Okay, anyways, you get the idea. You're going to spritz it. And then we're just going to watch it and we're going to let it sit. And what's going to happen is going to make that beautiful watercolor look because it's going to soften all of that. And that's how you can do it with any of your colors. So you don't necessarily have to get the in colors to make that same card. You could use the Misty Moonlight and just one other in your kit, whatever you want to do. Okay, back to what we were doing. Let's make sure we have a dry surface here. We're going to bring in our card base. Lots of Arizona people today, Vicki. Oh, that's good to know. Cool. I love it. All right, so now that we've got that, you see this edge here? I'm going to roughen that up a little bit. I love it when you guys mention where you're from, because then you can see where you're connected to each other. That is so cool. Do you see this technique? We used to have a tool way, way back in the day, but people were finding that a scissors blade does just the same thing. And you just go right against it and you can get that roughed up look, and you can make it, you know, you can go in deeper, you can really get to stress there. But that's how you can get that really emphasized line of roughness. In fact, on Virginie's card, she's done that all the way around, even deeper. You can see that look, okay? So that's kind of a fun thing to do. Just wanted to show that technique if you haven't seen that before. Let's move on with the pieces that we need for this kit. So for this one, we're going to take and we're going to cut all of these into halves. So I have one from each of the colors, the Pool Party, the Misty Moonlight, the Wild Wheat, and then we have our white base. This card was inspired by something I found on Pinterest. Really, really pretty card that had lots of bright, cheerful colors in it. These are a little more subdued, more masculine, like my shirt. But we're gonna use these, and let's just take and put some adhesive on the back side. We're gonna use these to make that similar type of layout. So the person who had made it, gosh, do I remember the person's name? It might be in my blog post. Let me scroll for just a second here. I think I did add it. I added a link. So when you go to my blog post at 1 o'clock, you'll be able to see a link to the beautiful card that JJ Bolton had created using this same type of thing. So that's the card that inspired this. I get inspiration from all of you, so share online. All right, so this is going to go in here. This one, which tilts off to the right, is going to go right next to it. So I'm first going to lay these two in here and kind of position them where I think that they'll look best. I'm going to bring the branch outside like that because it gives it a little bit more of a three-dimensional look when the card is finished. And I think that layering looks pretty good. You can't see the mounds that are at the bottom, the bases. Thanks, Tangi. All right, and we're going to go like that. And you can see here that because this isn't adhered yet, this is pulling that branch up and away. And that's okay. Just let's take that out of there for now. Let's do the same thing here. So we want this branch to come out, but we want to hide the base. We want to hide that. So we're going to take and go like this, and then we're going to make sure that it's overlapping the other colored branches as we push it down. Okay, now we'll take this out of there. So that's what it looks like on the inside. Nothing to write home about, right? It's kind of weird looking. So what I want to do next is I want to take and adhere this, but I also want it to look kind of like a pocket. So I'm not going to adhere it down all the way, especially right through the middle here. I want these branch pieces to be able to stick out. So I'm going to take my adhesive, and you can use any adhesive. You could use your multi-purpose liquid glue. You could use your seal adhesive. I'm just going to use some seal here. Actually, you know what? Because it's such a small section, I want to use stronger adhesive, okay? All right, so I'm just going to add this here. And then I'm going to add another one that's nearby, right about there. And then just make the rest of this kind of go flat. All right. So now we're going to take the backings off, and you can do that with the Take Your Pick tool, with the paper snips, anything that helps you to get underneath. Oops. Hang on. My nails have polish on them right now. You guys know I'm testing out this polish by Madam Glam, and I haven't taken it off yet. I think this weekend is the time to do it. Anyway, so there we go. So my fingernail's a little thicker. I can't get it off with just my fingernails sometimes. So let's lift up this branch because we want that to go on top. And we're going to stick this down like that. And I'm pressing in the middle first, because if you just press on the corner, what's going to happen is you're going to possibly make it uneven. Like, you don't want to do that, okay? Then we're going to take this one and lift that up and out, because we don't want that to be stuck inside. There we go. And now flatten in the middle and press out to the side. And now you can see a little bit of a lift that is caused from the way that we added that. I love the distressed edge here. I love the little look of the pocket. All right, next, let's clean this stamp off. So, here it is. I'm reading comments here. The tree stamp is beautiful. I totally agree. Let's clean that off, dry that off, stamp it down to make sure that we don't see anything coming out of there. Now we're gonna mask again, and this time we're gonna mask the top. And let's just cover up the whole thing just in case Rachel forgets. Okay, so we'll cover up the top, or just ink up carefully if you don't have any tape nearby. But yes, you want to ink up those top words with love and admiration. Move this off into your garbage, because if you don't put it in your garbage and you stick it on your grid paper, what's going to happen is it's going to get all over you. All right. So this we can stamp up in the upper left for balance. I'm looking at my stamp and I'm not looking at the edges of my block. I'm pressing it down, and now we have that image there. We're going to grab our beautiful, beautiful, oops, where'd they go? Here they are. Our beautiful foiled gems, and add those. Here's another tool that you can use to add your foiled gems, just a paper snips. And I just take and put my paper snips into a tiny little V shape. I slide up underneath. And I used to be really good at this, because this is the way I added it all the time until we got our take your pick tool. This one's here. And then we have another. Think in odd numbers, by the way. Odd numbers are always good to go as far as embellishment. So we have 1, 2, 3. Let's add 2 more. I'm grabbing the ones that are kind of like the clearest. Don't want a ton of gold in this for some reason. Just sliding up underneath. Can you even see this? Oh, good. I'm not covering it with my head. Oh, that one came loose from its adhesive. Stick that back on top. Let's try that again. Push it down. Get right under that adhesive dot. And stick it up here. And then we need one more that's clear right here. Okay, there we go. You can stamp something on the inside if you want to too. This can also become a Father's Day card. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but the stamps in this kit have a Father's Day sentiment in it. But because it's just one Father's Day sentiment, it doesn't mean that you have to make Father's Day cards. You can make graduation cards, as previously mentioned by one of my viewers. You can make, just any kind of celebratory card with love and admiration. That can go a long way. Let me take and go on to the next card. So the next one is a Z-fold card. And we're going to use this base that came in the kit. This base, normally folded, looks like this, right? This is on the front, this is the inside, but we're going to fold it this way because Rachel likes to think outside the box. And we're going to fold it that way, and then we're going to fold it again in this direction. So if you don't have a trimmer, look at this. You can do a lot of this folding just by hand, you guys. You can. But the scoring blade's nice too, right? So there we have our card base. We're going to work on this layer also with the card. And then we have a few pieces. We have this piece, and this one here. Sorry for this distracting stuff up here. Okay, I try not to get this really dirty. I should have stamped it off to the side, but that's okay. Hopefully you're not distracted by it. We're going to change colors. We're not going to use the Misty Moonlight. We're going to put that away. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you start building up colors, because all of those little ink spots, I forgot where I put it now, but you get those little ink spots, remember? These things here? You build them up and you collect colors over time. You do not have to have a huge craft room to become a paper crafter. You can get Paper Pumpkin kits. I'm using the color Early Espresso. It's the dark brown that you see here. We're going to ink up. Let's clean these off again. We're going to ink up our stamps in early espresso this time. So let's clean off all of them just because. I think I used this one too, maybe not, I don't remember. Okay, they're all clean. Now we're going to ink up this stamp the way that I had just described to you. So we're going to cover up the bottom with our masking tape. You could use, I'm sorry, Scotch tape. You could use masking tape, it's a little stickier, but you could use washi tape, you could use Post-it or sticky notes. We're going to ink up the top. You're the best. We're going to peel that away. Again, throw it in your garbage or it's going to get all over the place. We're going to stamp that onto this piece. And I'm going to put it against something darker so that you can see I'm looking at my stamp, not the edges of my block. And I'm going to stamp that down in the center about a ½ inch from the top edge of that piece. So that's set. And then the other stamp is going to be this one, and that's going to go on this piece. And my fingernails are too thick. I can't pick it up. Okay, so that's going to go on this piece. Looking at the edges of the shape, ink up that whole stamp. And because this is where I'm going to sign the card, I want to shift up my image a little bit so I have a little space at the bottom to sign my name. If you want to, you could just, mask parts of this and just do a portion of the stamp, like with love and admiration or to the most amazing person or whatever, so that you have more room to write. If I was signing this from my whole family, I would obviously want to have a little bit more room to write here, but that's how I worked that out. So now let's work from the inside out, because that's what you want to do with Z-fold cards always. Work from the inside out so that layers go up nicely, especially if you have layers that are the same size. We don't in this case, but let me show you. If you were to have, and I'll just show you with this piece here from the kit, if I can grab it. Hold on, here it is. This piece here, which also matches these awesome dies. Did you guys know that there's coordinating dies with these kits? This one matched the Delicate Wings kit from last month. This one is going to coordinate with the sweet one. I can't remember the full name, but that one's coming up. And then this one coordinates with the shape. It's called Thanks and Beyond. The Paper Pumpkin active subscribers can get that. Okay, it's a Paper Pumpkin item, so you want to be an active subscriber. So here's our shape. Let's say we were going to have that on the front. So this would get put here first, then you'd lay your card down, and then you'd add this. And that is the reason why you want to build from the bottom up. It's much harder to add this and then go, oops, now I got to, oh man, I messed up because now it's not on, it's not lined up. So always do from the bottom up. The next step for this card is to take and add our adhesive to the top of this. We want to actually show this color against the early espresso. We're going to show the wild wheat, and we're going to attach it like this. Now, if you wanted to, you could save a little bit. Let's just do that. Let's just take this little branch right here that's closer to the base, and I'm going to trim that out of there. We'll have a little bit of a base on it too. I'm going to trim that out of there because what if I want to use that later? So there we go. We have a tiny little piece there. Now we're going to add this to our image here. And I'm just looking at my finished one. I want to make sure it's as close as possible as the other one. Okay, so I'm going to go like that. And because it's the inside, I'm just adding it straight. You can add, if you don't want to get your seal adhesive in there and accidentally pull on some of that delicate stuff, you can use like your multi-purpose liquid glue. This precision tip bottle is going to be great, especially if you want to glue on the tiny little pieces, which is what we're going to do next. Okay, so this gets added here. Right there. And then we're going to put this on top, and this is going to be like that. So to add this, actually let's not add that yet because I want to make sure that I've got all my pieces on first. So these are the things that we're going to add to that. We're going to add this tiny little branch, and we're going to add this label piece. Now this label piece you can add flat or you can put it up on dimensionals. I like to have a little bit of shadow on the front layer of my card. So on this card, I am actually going to lay this flat, and then this piece is going to be up on dimensionals. So we're going to go ahead and add that. And the reason why is I just want this to be able to tuck without having anybody notice that it's a tiny, tiny little piece. So that's why this is getting added flat. So I'm going to lay this down where I want it to go. Then I'm going to grab my precision tip bottle, and this has the multi-purpose liquid glue in it. I'm going to show you that again. That's this one here. So I just transferred it to my bottle, and I've just put some on the back side of most of the leaf pieces there. And we're going to tuck that under here like that. And that's where that piece is going to go. All right, and I know it's secure because I've glued it already. Now I can add this on top. And that's going to go here about maybe like 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And I'm making sure that the white edge here is meeting up with the top edge of my layer. Now we're going to add dimensionals and add it to the front side of the card here. So to do that, same thing if you're going to use seal. So you would do seal on the left edge, the back of the left edge of this, and you would use seal on the front edge here. Okay, so it would go here and here. But we're going to do dimensionals instead. So we're going to take our dimensionals from our kit, and we're going to add a few, going here, and then we're going to add, and I'm just laying it right next to it so you can see how much room we have on the top and bottom of the card where we do not want to go beyond. Like I don't want to put a dimensional here. That's way too high up. But I can add it here, here, and here. Okay, now we can take the backings off. Another thing to note is these leaves are not glued down completely. If you feel better about sending a card through the mail or whatever with more glue on it, that's where that precision tip bottle can come in handy and get behind those little leaf pieces. So now that the backings or release paper is off the back side, we can just center this and add that right to the front of the card. We're going to add some embellishments, so that's where these come in. The beautiful gold ones I thought really accented well with the wild wheat color of the leaves, and this is the end result you get on that card. So it looks like this, opened up, it looks like that. So pretty, right? Odd numbers too. Did you notice the odd numbers? I had 3 on there. Next card. This one I'm not going to go through all the way. I'm just going to point out some things. So remember on Saturday, if you watched that live, I was very much in love with the in colors. I still am. So I took and thought, let's just make a card the same way we did just now, only let's make it with some extra leaves. Because what if, hang on a minute, I'm going to go this way instead. 1 1/4 inches. What if we ran out of those beautiful, delicate leaf pieces, right? We'd either have to go to dies, and that's assuming we have a die cutting machine, or we'd have to go to punches. So I have this fabulous punch that I love very, very much. It's near and dear to me. It's the bow punch. It coordinates with a stamp set that I helped to create. It's called Layering Leaves. Helped to design, I should say. And so we're going to take the leaf piece in here, one of my favorites. It's the one that has like the swirly little centers. And you can see it's a well-loved stamp set. I have Post-it notes in there and everything. We're going to ink this up with our coordinating ink, which is the Shy Shamrock paper. This is one of the in colors that you would get if you got the starter kit special this month. We're going to stamp that down off to the right. We're going to turn the punch over, line up everything, and oops, there we go. And we would do this a few times, okay? I think I only did it twice, but you could do it 3 times if you wanted to. I think I did it twice and I cut my other one down a little bit. Let me look at the finished card. Oh, and then this became a layer. So, oh, and also from that set, I used one of the sentiments. I used this one here, So Happy to Celebrate You. This stamp set I helped to design because I wanted stamps that would coordinate with kits, because that's how much I love kits. So this is one of those all occasion stamp sets, and leaves go with everything. You can put leaves with everything, you guys. So here we go. What does the finished card look like? You're the best. There's the extra leaf. I did put this up on dimensionals this time, and the base is now stuck flat against the card, the Z-fold base, okay? I put a layer behind it just to give it a little bit more green. Thanks, you guys. And then On the inside, yes, I took one and I cut it in half. So I'll show you what I did here. I cut this right here. Oops. I cut it right there. This one is tucked behind up here, and this one is tucked in the corner right there. Okay, so that you kind of cover up the little weird area right in the center there. So I just did it twice. So that's that, and that's stamped with the sentiment from the kit. All right. All right, so there's that one. Oh, I'm so glad you like that, you guys. Okay, next card. Actually, it's not a card. That's why I said projects at the beginning. The next one was a request. And I kind of said when I shared this mini album that Lisa Marshall, hi Lisa, she's my moderator on Facebook. This album that I got from Lisa Marshall back in March when we went to On Stage in Houston. She gifted me some things and this was part of it. This here, I said, oh, I should make it. And then recently somebody reached out and said, are you going to show that mini album that you talked about that Lisa Marshall gave you? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I should. So now we go into some other coordinating products. Remember I talked about the dies coordinating with this kit. Where are they again? The Thanks and Beyond dies, right? But then we also have a whole suite of products that coordinate. So let me introduce you to the Country Woods bundle. Oops, it's this way. Country Woods. Oh, here it is. It's on this page. So you can see that we have beautiful papers. We have embellishments. We have images. This suite is meant to coordinate with this kit. So I brought in the papers, and I don't have a lot of it left, but I do have a sampling of each of the sheets. So you can see that there's 6 designs. They're both double-sided. They're all double-sided. I'll show you the other side in a minute. You get 2 12 by 12 sheets of each of these. So altogether 12 sheets double-sided. So here's the back side. Oops. They're all not 12 by 12 anymore. So here's the back side of each of them. So you can see what I've got here. I'm kind of laying them out so you can see the differences because the back side's a little bit lighter in design. So there we go. All wood-ish backgrounds, right? Wood designs. Let's grab this one and this one. And I think it was, I can't remember. Oh, this one. I think it's these 3. Okay, so I have a little portion of that one there. I will look at my finished one in just a second and I'll be able to know, but we also need the trimmer. So we're going to pull that in. What I first did when I looked at her mini album is I said, oh yeah, and I think she told me this too. It's made from 1 sheet of 12 by 12. So you can take, and these are 4 inches high. These are almost 6 inches going across. So if you'd open up this whole thing all the way across, it's almost 12 inches. She trimmed hers down a little bit. I think it's because the edges don't line up perfectly. Or maybe those were the measurements she got. But you can tell us, Lisa, because you're watching. But you can see that it's the same designer paper throughout. She did the same designer paper. She's got some really pretty layers in there. So I took a sheet of designer paper. This is one from the coffee set. And I took and layered it up. Oops. Oh gosh, now it goes this way. Okay, so I took and layered it up. Oh, I know what I did, because I flipped one upside down, like that. And I kind of experimented with one sheet. So here's where the bending would go, the little score line. And here's where you would put photos. Here's another photo page. These 2 would be combined together and become pockets. Then you got more photo pages and so on. Okay, so let's take and do that. So I think, and I'm just going to confirm, yes, these are the pieces that we're using. So I have a 4 by 12 inch piece here. And we'll do the same with these 2 pieces. Let's just grab them both at the same time, add them in here, and cut. Okay. So there are my pieces. Oh yeah, we need to score now. So we're going to score halfway. I'm going to do one at a time. Okay, we're going to score one at a time. So we're going to take our light blade and score. And score. So we're pressing this all the way over to the, sorry, you guys can't see, all the way over to the edge here because that's 6 inches. And then our last one is here. And my stamps are not clean, and I can see them. They're going to get in the way. I'm moving some stamps out of the way, you guys. Okay. Cleaned up. Okay, we're ready. So now we have our score lines in the middle. Now we have to figure out how they're going to go best together. I have this one on the outside. I have this one next. And I believe this one is on the inside. So they go like that. So I didn't use just one full sheet of 12 by 12. I used 3 different ones because I wanted just a variety of look. But can you see now what's happening here on the edge? You can see that because they push against each other, the middle ones will come further out and further out. If you continue to stack papers inside of each other, you would just have this narrow tapering, and this would get longer and longer and longer. So that's the reason why you would want to come in and trim up the edges here. Okay, I kept mine to 6 by 4 total. Lisa's is, so you know, 5 3/4 by 4. So she trimmed off 1/4 inch. Okay, next. Then you want to put score lines here. And I went 3/4 inch in. She went 1/2 inch in. So when you look at that, you're going to see that our score lines are going to line up in the same spot because my extra 1/4 inch is now on that side. And just for speed, I'm going to go like this, you guys. We're just going to go like that. And we're going to go like this. And we're going to hope that the score line kind of helps to press through all of that. Beep, beep. There we go. All right, we have our bookbinding edge. And this is where you would punch your holes and connect your ribbon. Let's do the inside pockets though before we do that. So let's take this piece out of the middle. This is going to be our inside pocket piece. And I'm going to go ahead and just seal this edge up a bit here. Hang on so you can see it. So there's a little section in there that's 3/4 inch. I'm just going to add some seal adhesive there just to kind of like not have it distract me. So when I took this and looked at it with my ruler and my pencil, I said, oh, okay, I have now 5 1/4 inches. This is sealed up here. I'm going to need about 1/4 inch on this side to seal up, and then we'll of course seal it on the bottom. So that leaves me with 5 inches here, which means I can take my pencil and I can make some marks. I'm going to make a mark at the 2.5 inch mark because that is half of 5, right? And then I'm also going to make a mark in between those two. So half of 2.5 is 1 1/4. I'm going to make a mark there, and then on this side 1 1/4 would be here. So it's going to be at the 1 1/4, 2.5, 3 3/4. I'm going to do the same thing down here, just with the 1/2 inch mark though. That's 2.5. I'm going to add some seal adhesive to this outer 1/4 inch edge, like that. And then I'm going to add some seal adhesive along the bottom, like this. So now we have how it's going to get closed. But we also want to have a separation, so that's why we marked the half here. So now we make one more strip, and that's going to go right through the middle, connecting those 2.5 inch marks. Okay? And you can always come in, if you see a spot that you want to clean up, you can always come in with your precision tip bottle, or you can do a better job at cutting your tape. I just tore it. Okay, so what comes next is punching a hole. If you don't have a 1 inch circle punch, you can take and punch with dies. Dies. That's a good idea, Rachel. So what are dies? These are dies, and they go with a die cutting machine. I am going to go over time today. Oh no. Okay, so we've got this 1 inch circle punch. If you two need to leave, I'm totally fine with that. I mean, hopefully. Hopefully I'm doing a good job at explaining everything. But here's my little die. This is smaller than 1 inch, but it's a good size. It's about 7/8 of an inch. So what you would do is you would take and grab your platform. I've got my base plate, my die adapter, and my cutting plate. And I'm going to go ahead and line it up. Line it up like this. I'm going to lay this down so that it's about the same distance. When I die cut here, you know what, this is what I'll do, because I did it on my other one. I'm just gonna make a line here that's about 1/4 of an inch down, maybe a little bit further. Just make a straight line. And now I know how far to die cut in. So we're just gonna go like that, and I'm gonna see the base of that line, and I'm gonna see that mark right in the middle. I'm gonna grab some of these sticky note, these Post-it flags, and just lay that down. Put this on top and run it through the machine. And I'm going the opposite direction as I normally go. There's that. And then let's flip that and do that again. And the other one, let's just transfer this over, peel that away. Put this one over here, like that, lined up. Run it back through. And now we have our 2 holes. Oh, I forgot to do it through both layers. You'll want to do it through both layers. Silly, Rachel. Okay, do it through both layers instead of just one. Sorry. You could fold this back and do it through both. We're going to move on, Rachel. Okay, next, you're going to open this up. You're going to tape it down. And that's going to get added to the inside of your album. Then you're going to take and use your ruler again. A ruler is going to be your friend in this. This is a Victor ruler. It's got like it's got the actual markings of 16ths even on there. It's awesome. I got the idea for this product from Stampin' Bay, Nancy and Kayla. Thank you so much, gals. We're going to go right about here, and we're going to mark, it's about the same distance in from each side. So I'm going about 3/4 of an inch in from each side. I'm going to take my Crop-A-Dial, because a Crop-A-Dial is a great tool. You'll find this in my favorite extras also. And this is a great tool for punching through multiple layers. So you just punch. It's awesome. You don't need a lot of strength. And then you come over here and punch. Okay. And then you're going to take and weave your ribbon through. When you weave your ribbon through, and I'm just going to use, I think this will be enough. When you weave your ribbon through, here, we'll go like this. We'll wrap it. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Okay, so you're going to take your scissors, trim it at an angle, and you're going to weave it from the front of your album to the back. So I'm imagining this being my front. So I'm going to go ahead and weave this way, and then this way. Front to the back, back to the front, even it out, tie a knot. Okay, that's where your knot's going to go. Again, you're going to trim this up. You're going to die cut through both of these layers. Those are going to be stuck together. And we have the inside of the album. Pretend it's done. The last parts are going to be the design on top. So I trimmed off 1/4 of an inch on the 2 sides, because I didn't want to just do a 1/2 inch on one side of this layer piece. Did 1/4 of an inch on both sides, and then I did a 1/2 inch on the top, or you could do 1/4 on the top and bottom. I layered that onto a piece of early espresso, and I have that here. Here's my early espresso layer. So that would get stuck onto here and connected to the front of my album. Why do I keep showing it in this direction? Because my album actually turned out to be vertical. So here we have the stamped sentiment. We have that up on dimensionals. We have this piece, which is on my desk, I swear. Oh, here it is. We have that piece. This is the pool party one. It's flipped over so it really stands out with the white. Okay, and that goes here on dimensionals. This piece is also up on dimensionals. So the sentiment piece is on dimensionals, and so is this, to give it a lot of depth and dimension. And here I just tied it in a knot. The last step of this is, what do we put in the pockets? These fun little guys are done with 2-inch wide strips of early espresso and punched with the elegant tag topper punch. So you just slide that in, punch it down, and you have that fun design there. And then I made sure to cut mine after, so they're extra long, and then I trimmed them up to fit. And that's how I got those fun little pockets. And you could put pictures on this. You could put a message on here. But those are to go in these cute little pockets. Hang on a minute. There we go. The cute little pockets. Emulating or imitating or whatever what Lisa did on hers. So she's got hers done with these tag pieces like that. Fun, right? Oh, thanks, Karen. Thanks, Tony. And I'm glad that you could show up for the live. You said you haven't been seeing the lives for a while. I saw your comment at the beginning. I'm glad you made it. Okay. So we have a mess here. Let's take and lay out the finished projects. We have the album. We have this card. We have this card. This one. Can you see that? Yay. And then we have these two here. So you got 4 different ideas, 2 versions of one kind. The blog post is going to go live at 1 o'clock. We have some prizes to give out and some announcements to do real quick. So we have the simple card, the in color version, the front pocket card. We also have the Z-fold card and the in color version of it. And then we have the 4x6 mini album that was inspired by Lisa Marshall's idea. If you haven't subscribed to Paper Pumpkins, or you have, but you've stopped, please, you'll want to subscribe again. It's a great thing to do. You're going to get lots of fun, easy ideas ready to go, or you can take and do alternates like we're doing. But I love a paper pumpkin kit just to have on hand. If I'm like all of a sudden needing to go somewhere, I can quick grab my kit and put a card together and I'm ready to run. Thank you for commenting, you guys. You know that comments get you added into the prize drawing, don't you? All right, so let's talk about a few things going on, and then I'm going to bring some stuff onto my desktop so you can see the prize choices. We'll call out the prize winners, and then we'll leave. Thanks, Tandy. She goes, it's amazing what you can do in just 1 hour. I talk fast, though, on these. When I'm showing more than one project, my voice kind of goes, blah, 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 right? Okay, so new kit. We have a new kit special offer, whatever. This is separate from the Paper Pumpkin kits. This is called the starter kit, and it's being offered through the month of May. It's for you to become a discount shopper, or if you want to do the business side of it, you can certainly sell Stampin' Up! Products. But the starter kit is always on special. It's $125 worth of product for $99 plus tax. Shipping is free. Business supplies included that can be recycled are free as well. So, but this month, because there's a new catalog release and new products, and obviously we've got these beautiful new colors, they've added a gift into the starter kit. And you get 5 ink pads, 5 Stampin' Write markers, you get an assorted pack of the cardstock in those colors, and you get some designer paper 6x6 in those colors. It's an $82 value. It's part of the starter kit this month. You just have to click on the link to get the starter kit, and you get all of that goodness. You don't have to sell. You can just be a discount shopper. You can get the kit just for the kit deal. Nobody's going to tie your hands behind your back if you don't do a party, okay? It's all good. Okay, Memorial Day sale. Stampin' Up! Is having that, Stampin' Storage is having a Memorial Day sale. So you know how I've talked about the Country Hive products? I love their stuff. I also love having my bigger pieces in my room. If you've ever looked behind me, I have products that are more like furniture, made out of wood and stuff. Those are things that I keep my ink pads and all that kind of stuff in too. And they are my larger pieces. They're from Stampin' Storage. Stampin' Storage is having a sale now through Memorial Day. So if you live in the US, you can get in on that sale. It is 15% off store-wide. So there's a link also below. And then I think that's it as far as news. So let's move these things out of the way. Let's bring up this puppy. I brought it into view last week on Wednesday. Oh my gosh, Rachel. There's tons of paper in here. There's tons of paper, and I'm stuffing envelopes. So the prize for last week's live and for the after live winners that commented after last week's live, I have 2 winners. I have one from YouTube, one from Facebook. Anyways, you get a packet of this stuff. If you live in the US, I can send it to you. Otherwise, you can choose a tutorial for free. But that is the prize that's being gifted to my 2 winners. And we're going to go to our computer screen. Hang on. There we go. We have a winner from YouTube. It's Diane Loves Fred. I love your YouTube name. Diane Loves Fred is the winner for that, and you'll want to click on, or not click on, sorry. I do have my email address in the description of my video, but also here you can see it, stampyourartout@comcast.net, N-E-T. Reach out to me, Diane or Fred, and let me know that you got that notice that you won. And then our other winner from Facebook is Judy Ann Brander. So congratulations to both of you. Now we're going to come back and I'm going to show you my desktop of the other prize choice. Here it is. The other prize choice. Actually, I'll just hold it up here. The other prize winners, put it on this side. There we go. Okay, the other prize winners for our live and after live next week, you're going to get a packet with a large and a small, or regular and a small blending brush. So Trisha's going to call out 2 winners. The 2 winners that she calls out, those are the people that are going to win, and they are going to receive that product if they reach out to me at the email address shown right here. Let me see. I think she's announced them, so I will go ahead and click on her post as soon as it comes up in my feed here on my iPad. But I can tell you the names is Jean Droughton, or Jeannie, Jean Drawhan, and Sandra Schmeig. Not seeing her comment come up here on my iPad. So anyways, it's just, there's too much excitement. Everyone's commenting at once. So congratulations to Jean or Jeannie Drawhan and Sandra Schmeig. Both of you have last names that are very, very challenging for me today, but I'm so happy for you, and congratulations to all the prize winners. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Next week I will be live May 29th at 11 a.m. Central Time. It's the last week of the month, so you know that I'll have something special. I hope that you all had a great time today. Thank you for your kind words about my hair. I love you all. So thanks, and we'll see you next week. Lisa and Trisha, you're the best. Okay, I'll see you next week, everybody. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.